Okay, look, we all know it's no secret that Star Wars Episode 2 is all over the place when it comes to great moments and less than stellar moments, although at this point still memorable in the 20 plus years that Episode 2's been around. But there's one scene that no one ever talks about that's been bothering me since the second time I saw it in the summer of 2002. And yes, I'm old enough to have split my childhood between knowing a time where the original trilogy was the only Star Wars in existence and also being a prequels kid. Hey filmmakers, my name is Ryan, and welcome back to the Filmmaking Notebook, where we deep dive into just a single filmmaking element in 5 minutes or less. And we might actually hold to the 5-minute rule this time. If you saw my previous video where we break down the absolute genius of the scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi meets Jango Fett, you'll remember I mentioned that there's a missing element that would really have elevated that scene to perfection levels. And if you missed that video, I'll link it here. But what's really missing from this scene is a layer of tension. Sure, there is unspoken tension between Obi-Wan and Jango, but there's a lack of what we call audience tension, because we, the audience, already know what Obi-Wan is seeking to determine, which is Jango Fett the bounty hunter Obi-Wan is looking for? Or is he not? We know this, Obi-Wan doesn't. And the scene where Obi-Wan meets Jango is undermined by the moment earlier in the movie where Jango Fett meets with Zam Wesell. And that's because this scene reveals from the get-go that Jango Fett is indeed behind the assassination attempts. At least he was the one hired for it. And then by the time we get to the Obi-Wan scene, there's never a doubt that Jango is the bounty hunter Obi-Wan is looking for. Granted, we don't actually see the armor until midway through the scene, and even then, it's only a glimpse, but in 2002, everyone who saw the movie knew what Fett's armor looked like, so this quick shot is little more than confirmation for Obi-Wan, than confirmation for us, the audience. But if this early Jango Fett Zam Wesell scene had been eliminated from the movie entirely, there would have been an extra layer of tension for the audience to feel later on, as we would have also been trying to guess, alongside Obi-Wan, if Jango is the correct suspect, or is he not? The quick shot of the helmet and the armor on the floor would have truly added some additional suspense at that point, since all we would have seen of Jango is a quick faraway shot of him rocketing to the air like 30 minutes earlier. Definitely not enough to make a 100% judgment call. The irony though is that the Jango Fett Zam Wesell scene was not in the original shooting script. This scene was added during pickup shoots like a year later in order to give more clarity to the assassination attempt, to increase the feeling of danger for Padme. But this was done at the expense of mystery and tension in the middle of the film. George Lucas himself says, "I added that scene to show that our heroes were in peril. Before, people talked about them being in peril, but we never saw it. By cutting to this scene, I was able to create more of a sense of danger and tension." Seriously, zero disrespect to George Lucas, who created one of the best franchises of all time, but I disagree. We saw the danger and sense of peril immediately with the destruction of Amidala's starship, and it's the mystery of what the next attack might be that adds tension, rather than seeing the bounty hunters making their plans. Imagine if the very first time we saw this assassin droid was when it crept up to Padme's window. We wouldn't know where it came from, who sent it, and that's innately more mysterious. The added mystery would then rack up the tension because we don't know the villain's exact move here. Is this the only assassin droid? Are there other unexpected dangers? This thin line of not knowing all the details, but also knowing that something bad is coming, would only serve to increase our feeling of tension and suspense. Not to mention making Obi-Wan's investigation more uncertain. What can you do? This added scene ended up in the movie, and that's that. But tension is something that's incredibly important to master as a writer, so check out this playlist where I'll be adding more lessons on how to learn the skill of writing tension and suspense. But until next time, get offline and go create something epic.